All right, so the children's movie that's not really for children, Soul.
It's for children.
That's debatable.
Listen, man, that message is not for children, bro.
May I join in for this?
That's subjective.
Oh, absolutely.
So you know why it's for children?
So they
It's
can
for
learn
children
about life
because
and
of
death?
very pretty colors, very nice shapes, animation, funny moments that are cute, but at the same time, when a person that is of age perceives them, they realize that it has a lot more weight. There's
My kids got the
ships.
story.
You've seen Shrek.
Did they get it?
There's a
though?
lot of
Got the
adult
story.
themes in that.
Did
Oh,
they get
there's
it?
way more adult themes than Shrek. than
Okay.
this. Yeah, definitely.
Real quick, before we get too deep into it.
Yes.
They keep talking about the 6:30 thing, right? Where the guy's like 6:30 when the government, when the government says that the veil between worlds is the lightest. Do you guys know what that means? Because I didn't get that.
I think that was just like a moon wind thing.
It is. It's more of the biblical thing. So if you look it up online, they're saying that it's part of like like the witching hour, that term.
Yeah. 3 a.m. The witching hour.
It's a similar
between
context.
good and evil. Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's when like normally sunset and so on and so forth. So the nexus hits. That's a similar concept. That's where they were going, but also
because I
6:30.
I tried looking it up because I wanted to understand because I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, shocker! I watch other reviews.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, continue.
I know.
Shocker.
Let it happen. Let it happen.
I know.
Let it out.
And so one of the
Shank
other
you
reviews
later.
that I watched was talking about it, and I was like, I didn't get that one. What the heck does it mean? So I started looking it up, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know if anybody else knew.
It was a play of the Nexus type of scenario type of thing, but it's also kind of funny. The way I perceived it, funny enough, was it's the moment when most New Yorkers are actually off of work. Because it's by that point that everybody starts moving.
The trains were so packed. Yeah.
That's what I have always perceived. That's how.
Me too.
Right? Exactly. Tell me about. Trust me,
should.
I've lived it for fucking 5-6 years. I haven't done it for the past 6 months, but a year now actually.
Well, a year.
Yeah, you know what
Congratulations.
I mean. Dude, honestly, it's been besides me going to Midtown Comics, shout out, Fulton Street, love you guys. That's the most I've been in the city, but I've been taking the path, so it was a very different scenario. But I remember back in the day, which was a year ago, I take the subway.
Back in the day,
it is fucking packed.
To be fair, he is talking about a year in COVID time, so it's like 6 years.
Exactly.
I'll give him back his name for that one.
But so long story short, that's how I perceived that moment. That nexus that they were saying. One, it was a funny moment, but I also thought there was more of a play on when they used to say, "Oh yeah, this is the nexus of the witching hour." In a sense, that's how I always looked at it. That's how I perceived it. Okay, so.
Dope.
We'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Well, who wants to start? You want to rock paper scissors?
I say you start.
No, I think I started. Like I said, it's cool.
Oh,
I'll start it. Like I said, it's a good movie. I like the
after
animation.
the fresh reveal, you gotta go.
Yeah, word. I'm out. The spotlight's on me now. Don't get nervous.
Wait, time out. By the way, because in my screen, Ebony's on top, you on the right, and Miguel's on the left. So Ebony was like, after the fresh reveal, and she's looking down at you right now in my screen. So it's perfect. She was like, after the fresh reveal, Oz, and I'm like, this is perfect.
I wish there was
no one can see this. No one can see this.
Dude, it looks really, really good. Hey, real quick, can I just ask, did you use a razor? Did you use one of the trimmers?
What did you use?
Well, bro, it was a trimmer, and then once we got it like real close, just to get whatever was left, we used my girl did it. She used a razor.
That's cute. Actually, it's really nice that she did it, but don't get used to it because do it yourself. I'm just saying.
Before the recording, I went in and just cut off whatever was growing.
The extra. Here's the funny part.
Oh, how long has it been?
We would never have seen it.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, when did you actually do it? Okay, so you do have like the 10 o'clock fuzz.
Hold on, wait a second. I'm kind of mad. You waited a week to tell us that you shaved your head?
Yeah,
actually, I am a little upset.
Ed came to pick up the fucking mic and everything. He didn't even realize. I had my hoodie
you
on.
had a hoodie on. You had a hoodie on, dude.
Yeah,
he came out with a mask and a hoodie. I didn't see shit.
Exactly.
I saw nothing.
There was a reason behind it. Besides, I wanted to save the reveal for the pods like that. Yeah, to get the reaction. It's content, man. I'm making my life choices creative content for the Nerdy Basement. Look at that.
You gonna post this picture of yourself on the internet?
No.
Why?
But then again, this video is gonna be all over YouTube, so it doesn't.
That's
really
for
matter.
Patreon subscribers.
It's true.
Yeah, word.
Also
Behind the
that.
scenes.
It's true.
Oh, that's where Eddie's putting up his no shirt news.
Yeah, word. No,
What? Wait.
Guys, I'm a
There's
long
no shirt
way.
news?
I think I missed that.
I'm a long way from no
Oh
shirt
yeah,
news,
yeah. Okay,
actually.
so the joke for like the last 2 years has been that when we finally launch Patreon, there's gonna be a segment of Ed talking about some stuff with no shirt.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so I just coined it right now. No shirt news.
no shirt news.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so
and
it's
the pod is copyrighted too. All rights reserved. Nobody can use that.
So
Look at that.
essentially,
Beautiful.
it's I'm pretty sure that, but it's like
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna have to mute that because
I'm
that's
just
part of the
saying,
soul review.
Yo,
Children
facts.
listening.
Yo.
How you gonna put that on?
I couldn't help it. That's
Bruh.
just funny. It's just
Way to
funny.
drop
It's
the
just
ball.
funny.
That's some
Yo,
2020
oh,
shit.
no.
It was at this
It's not
moment
funny
he
because
knew.
you're gonna find it and you gotta edit that part out.
Fine. It's gonna get bleeped.
You gotta
You
silence
put a
it.
dolphin
You
noise on
bleep
there.
it.
You
You
better.
bleep it. Ozzy, you bleep it at.
It's too late
2
now. What you
hours.
mean, Ozzy? You bleep it. It's too late
What are you
now.
talking about? It's called post,
You
bro.
better you better clap. You better put a clap in there.
Oh, I saw it 2 hours. 2 hours.
I vouch for the dolphin noises.
Yo, for real. That is hilarious.
Dolphin.
Bruh. He said that and I'm just here like,
Why wasn't that there? Oh
but
my
anyway,
God.
back to
okay,
Soul,
okay.
man. Back to Soul. So yeah, so
We're
so
starting-
like I
we're
said,
starting
since
from
I'm on
right
the
now.
spotlight, like I said, it's a beautiful movie. It's nice seeing a diverse cast. Well, a cast that's full of colored people, black people. I like to see that. Pixar obviously knocked it out the park in my opinion. The story behind it, the themes are deep, they're meaningful. Like I said, it's an animated movie for kids and whatnot. Like I get all the pretty colors and all that, it looks good, it attracts the kids and stuff. But I feel like the story itself, at least the meaning behind it, is not aimed for the kids. I feel like it was more aimed for the young adults and then the older audience. At least in my opinion, that's how I took it. But just to get initial thoughts without even getting into actual spoilers, all around the movie was beautifully animated. The soundtrack was amazing. The musical composition, even the musical parts that we got while during the performance, chef's kiss, absolutely beautiful. Loved it. Because I love me some motherfucking jazz. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some motherfucking jazz. You know what I'm saying?
200%.
So I was listening to that jazz playing. I was just like, boy, them ready pause the movie right now. Gonna throw this soft jazz on and get it on and popping with a little bit of wine. But I digress. You know
Get
what I'm
you a
saying?
charcuterie board.
I digress. I love the movie, and personally, not to shit on Wonder Woman even more.
He pulled out
I
his
enjoyed this
Lunchables late.
Word, pulled out the adult Lunchables with a little cup of wine to sit back and listen to smooth jazz. But this out of Christmas weekend and all of the movies I watched, at least the two big blockbusters that we were supposed to get in theaters, out of the two that we got on video on demand, this is the one I enjoyed the most. So
True.
Same. Agreed.
that's my review
I
for
completely
Soul
agree.
after I reviewed it everywhere else Christmas Day. But there you go. Now the spotlight's on you guys. I'm gonna go cover my head now because it's cold.
Okay, this movie to me
He's like,
had
it's cold.
this movie to
used
me
to
had
it.
shades.
Half-assing now since I revealed it.
The movie was great. The movie was phenomenal. You're right. The movie had a lot of not hidden messaging, but a lot of messaging that would go over other people's heads, or go over children's heads. Yeah, dude, like the movie was great. The animation was great. The fact that, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first. It was a Pixar movie, right?
Yep.
Damn
It was.
right.
This was the first Pixar movie with a black lead.
Yep.
Which was phenomenal. This movie reminded me of an old movie. And I have it downstairs, and because I decided to talk about it now, my mind went blank on the name of the movie. Maybe you guys can help me real quick. It's the movie where the guy makes a wish, he wishes himself out of existence, and then he sees the world, like what the world would be like without him.
No.
It's an old black and white movie.
Well, there you said it all. Sorry.
Anyway, this
I
this
can't
this
put a
movie
pin
had
on it.
shades. This movie had shades of kind of like an old time. So the movie was called Soul, and it might be because it was about the soul of a person. It might be because it was about soul music. It might be because this movie itself had an old soul because it was based on the same kind of premise of an older movie where what is life without people around you. But the movie was phenomenal, and I like the as we get more into the story, we'll get more into the parts of this movie that opened up emotional passages, and actually made some things conversational topics that weren't conversational topics in the past, especially for men. And I don't mean to say that, oh no, not for women, but I feel like it's more acceptable in society. I feel like it's more acceptable in society for women to talk about emotions and stuff like that than it is for men. And I feel like this movie kind of opened up that line of communication for men to kind of like not to put a spoiler out there, but the barbershop scene.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was like, yo, like that right there is so
one of my favorite
dope
parts of it.
because because it's something that you don't see a whole lot of. Men don't open up about how they feel to other men because for whatever reason it's shown as the sign of weakness when it should not be that way at all.
Well, honestly,
But
why would
that's
you do that in a barbershop? I'm just throwing it out there, but okay. I'm just saying.
because barbershops are the new bartenders, bro. But yeah, like in all honesty, like the movie was fantastic. I have not a single bad thing to say about this movie. This movie is a banger, and it's a more than one time watcher. So get ready to purchase this thing on Blu-ray and Blu-ray and online disc when it comes out.
Online disc.
Online disc, he says.
Shut up! Shut your face!
You're like
I know what I said. I put myself on the spot, and then I couldn't find a way out.
Oh, yeah. Go. Because I went first last one.
Okay, so just to follow what he said, I didn't even think about that because I'm obviously not a man, but it's true. Like the fact that in a Disney movie that they showcased someone revealing their emotional side in a way that, yes, it was vulnerable, but it wasn't taboo, really helps kind of move forward that conversation of normalizing, men just being able to be emotionally vulnerable because it's so stigmatized that they can't do that. So I thought that was really great. And I just thought it was really great to have a character that was just not typical machismo or whatever. But just to kind of like roll back, I think Soul was a great movie. I actually watched it again this morning
Nice.
because I really enjoyed it. And out of the two films that we did review, that movie deserves to be watched 2 times, 3 times, 4 times because the message in it is very important. And I know people say it's not necessarily geared towards kids, but I think in the same way that, men's emotions can't be like are like stigmatized, I feel like there's certain topics that children are sheltered from addressing, which I don't think this is something that a kid should avoid. Like I think this is a great way to introduce a child to the concept of the life beyond and what that might be. And I thought they did a really great job of talking about like what it means to be a person, and ultimately they don't make it about your life purpose has to be music, because they touched on that. They were more of like the whole point of it is just to live your life. And I thought like I didn't even cry the first time. I cried the second time because it really sat with me. And I just, Pixar has that way of doing that to you where it's just like, damn, like, yo, you hit me in the feels, but like in my sincere feelings. And I think they did a great job of like addressing like what it means to be alive. And I felt like as somebody, as most people, like we go through life just always having these existential questions. And there was a moment in the movie where like the main character, 22, played by Tina Fey, who did a great job. Jamie Foxx did a great job. Like they did a really great casting of that film. But she was sitting and she just like grabbed a leaf and breathed the fresh air and tasted pizza. Really simple things that normal people would take for granted. And it was just like this is really what it's about, just experiencing things, you know. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing that an adult and a child needs to take, you know. And I think across the board, I think it was like a very even level Pixar release for the end of the year. And shout out to Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor for the soundtrack. They did a great job. The animation was absolutely beautiful, and like the way that they orchestrated that, the jazz soundtrack, everything, like, you know, even having Questlove as like his old ex-student, like there's just so many little elements that felt intentional and sincere, and like the movie was just sincere. It felt wholesome, and I felt like just very, like, you know, I felt like a kid again watching it, and just I felt so, you know, I don't know, the movie felt, it validated me. It was really great because it was just like a really nice wholesome movie.
Wow.
So I really enjoyed it. That's my review.
I love it. See, you know, honestly, I felt like almost the motion coming off of Ebb right there, and almost another tear coming off of there, like just from this, because like honestly, I felt
eyes
felt
glistening and shit.
Like honestly, I almost
It's a
cried
Pixar
again because
thing.
that's it. Dude, all right, look, I can tell you like this: when Pixar makes you almost cry on Toy Story, what was it, 4? The one that they're about to die, but then they get
3?
saved. Number 3. So,
Yeah.
dude, I almost
They're about to fall into the incinerator.
exactly, dude. I almost cried on almost every fucking Pixar movie I ever watched. You know why? Because Pixar is beautiful. They know how to reach not only kids, but they also know how to reach adults and even the midpoint, right? So that's where this whole thing is, and I can't honestly add much more than what you guys have said, because this movie is truly just a work of art. It's just another notch in Pixar's belt. The reason why Disney picked them up in the very beginning, they have hit every mark, almost every single movie. It's rare to say when Pixar didn't do their job, and that's one of the biggest things, right? And now they hit a mark that music, diversity, message. They went to a whole other fucking level. They hit everything.
Literally, they went to a whole new level. When they were in the zone, they were in the zone. By the way, side note, quick, I just remembered the name of the movie that I was thinking about. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that movie.
I've
heard that movie. Yes.
Never seen it.
It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go watch it.
Now, if I remember in the back of my head, if I watched it, I can't remember. But I know the name. It's a Wonderful Life. I know people reference that a lot, so I hear you. So,
but yeah, no. Eb, you were getting ready to say something.
Oh well, you were talking about being in the zone. I thought they portrayed being in the zone really beautiful, and then the idea of a lost soul. Like they talked about what was the hedge fund manager, just like kind of like the way they even just like imagined what a lost soul looked like. Like it hit home. I was like, shit. Like, you know that feeling where you're just like running on a hamster wheel. You don't even know what you're doing, and like you see what was it, Moonwind shaking that person out of it. Like that was beautiful, because it just like, even for a child to see that is really powerful, because it's like, don't just settle for this. You're like, what are you doing with your life, you know?
It's what the rest of us called being stuck in a rut.
Yes.
Right? You wake up and it's the cycle, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, you go to work, you come home, you have dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, and it's the cycle where one day you're at work and you're typing on your computer and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what is this?
It's not only just doing the cycle, man. It's also just doing what you thought was supposed to be important. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you thought money was supposed to be everything. That's where the biggest thing is. Remember, think about it. Like, Wall Street stock market is known for suicides.
Keep it even more simple than that. My man got offered a check by the school, right? He got offered a stable job.
They expected him to be happy and content. Exactly.
Right, and now he has to sit there and think to himself, do I want to take this stable job where I'm going to get a consistent paycheck, and I'm going to get tenure, and I'm going to get all these things, or do I want to follow my dream?
Yep. Well, and that's the beautiful. I'm sorry.
And it kind of, it kind of kicks me back to what we were talking about in the behind the scenes. If you guys want to see the behind the scenes, make sure you guys let us know. $25 on Patreon.
Hey, there you go.
No plug whatsoever.
But it's like we were talking about, before the episode started. If it was just me, I would quit my job and just focus on what we're doing full time because this is my passion. But I can't do that. So I need to find a way to do both and to find time and energy for both and to be able to split myself in three so I can do this, do my job, and be a good parent. Because there's a big difference between being a parent and being a good parent. A good parent is around,
involved, active,
right. And when you're splitting yourself between two jobs, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for being around. So, like, you got to try to find that balance. And, like, I feel like that's what my man was doing in the movie, trying to find that balance. And he just couldn't, like, I think, and spoiler time, guys. Spoiler time. I think, has everybody talked about it?
I'm pretty sure we've been spoiling everything.
Yeah,
it's fine. Honestly, everyone...
It doesn't even matter.
Guys,
it's been out
if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know what you've
watch
been
this
doing.
movie.
Like, I think 22 was just as important to Joe as Joe was to 22.
Well, of course.
And by the way,
doubt.
did you guys know, like when they said 22, were you guys just like, oh, haha, that's funny? Did you guys get the joke?
No.
Like they name
because
they name everybody, like they name all the souls by which soul they are. So they had soul 14, trillion, whatever. She was soul 22.
Yeah, literally 22. She's the 22nd
place. She had been there
for a while.
Like she'd been there for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, it was ironic.
It was
ironic. She's been there for so fucking long, and hasn't found a purpose.
She's also a catch-22.
Yeah, catch-22.
I
like that.
She's also a catch-22.
Yeah, I like that one.
Because her the way for her to find her purpose was for her to go to Earth. But she couldn't go to Earth until she found her purpose. Yep. She was a catch-22.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
That's the actual one. Yep.
Wow.
That just made that movie so much better.
Yep. And little things, yeah. It's funny. I thought about the same thing, but I just didn't. I was like, you know what? Whatever. You know what I mean? I was like, catch-22? Whatever. But you bringing it up is perfect. Exactly. And I think that's what it comes down to when it comes to soul. It's, there's so many ways to perceive it, right? You said you want to figure out how to do all these type of things, and if you were by yourself, right? But at the same time, soul is like, they're trying to say that it's more. It's everything. She had pizza. She had a leaf. She had this. She had that.
And she had music. Soul music.
She had music.
Soul as a person. Soul as a piece of food.
Soul is everything.
As just a piece of air. Like,
exactly. And that was the whole part. It's like, there's no right answer. There's no perfect scenario. There is nothing to it. It's just living. Live your life. And just be happy to the extent you can be. And that's where the whole story comes down to. It is what it comes down to is that what makes you happy. And that's the toughest part, is when you can get past what everyone else says makes you happy, and you can actually be happy. All right, being happy and getting happy is two different things. It's hard. It's really fucking hard. We've talked about it all the times. Miguel, perfect example again. We said it. If we meet, all four of us can do this full time. I'm sorry, Ebony. I'm throwing you in there because now you're part of the pod. If we could do this full time, we would have done it in a heartbeat. It is exactly what we want to do, right? But guess what? I do love doing my graphics. I love doing my drawings. I love doing my writing when I get a chance to.
Me too.
And I want to do it all, right? But at the same time, I want to find time for it. Now finding a balance. You don't fit in a
box.
Nothing's a box. Maybe
you don't fit in a box.
Right?
You're more than that.
Right?
You're more than a spot on your earth bag.
You're not a number.
Soul.
You're a soul. You're not. You're not a number. You're not this. You're not that.
Damn, look
You
at y'all
are
tying
supposed
it
to be
all
bigger,
back in
right?
full circle. Look, I'm proud of y'all. I'm sitting back in
Yo,
admiration.
you know how shit. We didn't start this pod just because we're pretty,
Dude,
bro. It's not because
Dude,
we're
when
pretty.
they do the great beyond and the great before, and I'm just sitting there like, what am I even looking at? and then you got Moonwind and his merry band of soul catchers,
Word.
whatever you want to call them.
She was
They were
I'm
great.
burning
Like-
They were
feelings,
great.
Like what sound bath classes or some shit. Like it was perfect.
Yeah, and he's flipping signs outside of like
And he
of
did a
like
hell of a
U.S.
job.
Cellular or whatever.
He did a hell of a job. Okay.
Yeah, he was spending that more like.
Having a time of
There's
his
not many
life.
people
when
that can
he's
pull that
in the
off.
zone.
Not many
Yeah.
people can pull that off. Just saying.
And that fulfills him.
Like-
That completes his life. And maybe a lot of people set the bar so high, and I think the movie was trying to tell you that. Like, why put so much pressure on yourself and like try to set these standards
Wow.
when if this fulfills you, do it. If you feel complete,
Word.
that's it. You have fulfilled your purpose on this earth. You feel complete in that present moment.
Dude,
We spend
Moonwind is Graham
as
Norton.
human beings.
Norton, right? Graham
Sorry.
Norton is fucking hilarious. He is a great fucking personality
Thumbs up
in
for Graham
general.
Norton.
I love that man. Graham Norton is fucking awesome. That's Moonwind. And he has such a smaller
Dude.
part compared to everyone else, but he made such a big impact, right?
Oh,
Yep.
That's what Pixar does. So long story short, guys, Soul is fucking amazing.
Is a must watch.
Nerdified,
That's what we're saying.
certified.
Nerdified,
Wait,
certified.
one more
for
thing.
me.
One more thing.
Oh, go for it, please.
We spend so much time trying to find that one thing we're good at, thinking that once we find that one thing we're good at, if we just focus on that one thing, we'll be complete. And while we're focusing on that one thing, you forget to live your life. You forget to appreciate all the little things that are around you. You're so focused on your one goal that like you got blinders on. You're deaf, mute, and blind to the rest of the world.
Yep.
Because you're focused on your music career, or you're focused on your podcast, or you're focused on on your acting career, or you're focused on whatever it is you're focusing on, and you're confusing the grind with your life. And you're like, oh, I just gotta grind, and I'm gonna hit it. And you're forgetting that people like J.K. Rowling didn't publish her first book until she was in her 40s.
Yep.
You're forgetting the fact that Oprah Winfrey didn't make her first million until she was in her late 30s. You're forgetting the fact that most of these people, yeah, they were grinding, but they were also living their life. Yo, I am vibing right. I'm in the zone.
Look, I say
I'm in the zone.
gonna
Where
say-
is Moonwind, bro? I'm here. Pick me up.
Graham Norton's Moonwind, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Elise Braga, right? She fucking said it best. She's also one of the voices of Jerry, right? All the Jerry voices,
Oh,
by
God,
the way,
Jerry.
fucking awesome. I
They
love
were
all the Jerry
they were
voices.
cool as fuck.
But
Terry was
when
awesome.
Elise Braga, right?
Terry was
she
awesome.
said it. She was like, all you souls, like you all like, you put so much precedence on your purpose. Like your purpose doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing. That's it. That's not why we're here. This is not why you live. And she walks away. Or he, because she's Jerry's voice.
Well,
They,
You know,
she,
whatever.
they,
But
correct here.
straight up
they have
said
all the
it,
pronouns
man.
and shit. They have all
That's
the
it.
pronouns.
So we don't.
Just Jerry.
Yeah, we don't know what Jerry's preferred
Right.
pronouns
Jerry is
are.
a
so-
very
no way.
unisex name.
Non-binary, right? Unisex,
Not-
binary.
Every,
Non-binary.
yeah, all the
Being,
pronouns. All the
their
pronouns.
being. Yep.
But said it best. It was like you put so much emphasis on purpose, but you didn't think about just living, and that's the whole point. It's
Dude,
perfect. I
dude,
was-
and not
loved
just
it.
that, but 22 showing what an anxiety attack is, in real, like kind of like real time, and like what it looks like. Like a lot of people out there, and especially a lot of kids out there, like they know what that feels like, but they don't know that that's a normal, natural feeling. To them, what they're trying to express is foreign, and I shouldn't feel that. And I'm saying this from experience as the father of a daughter who suffers from anxiety and from depression. Like she wouldn't know what to do with herself, and I don't, she'd come and she'd be like, "Daddy, I don't know what I'm feeling." I've never suffered from that. I've always strived and tried really hard to be a positive person, and I don't let the little things bother me. Not that there's anything wrong with that. People are who they are, but that was a very new feeling for me, and it was a tough, never having seen that myself before, having to try to coach my daughter on how to deal with it, and then everybody in my household watching it in a movie. I think that kind of just solidified for her my feelings are valid, because it's something for your parent to say it to you, and you're like, just like, yeah, whatever, you're my parent. But like, it's a normal feeling, and Disney, Pixar, and I want to say that this is the first time they've normalized all these different mental health issues, and I think that's fantastic, because those feelings are normal, your feelings are valid,
especially in the world that we live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he did a really good, or whoever they are that made this film did a really good job of, like, when 22 first got into his body, they went out into the New York world, and it's just crowds, and like they showed what it felt like to feel anxious in crowds and unsure and overwhelmed by all of the like everything around you, and like just not being able to cope with everything going on, even though it's just like a regular day. Like, it's normal to feel overwhelmed by this, because it's a lot to take in as just as a spirit, as a soul, as a person. And I think that just
so good.
The more I think about this movie, and watching it a second time made me love it even more. Like, this movie is solid.
Yeah,
it speaks to me.
And perfect.
All her insecurities and her fears.
Yeah.
When she becomes a lost soul, and how it like yells at her, and then it repeats back to her all the things that she heard, but it repeats them back to her in a way that's a lot more menacing and a lot more detrimental.
Because our minds do that to ourselves.
Right. Whereas when we watched it the first go around, like, granted, they weren't being awfully nice about it, but they weren't trying to tear her down.
Yeah.
Now when she plays it back to herself, when she's I like to call that place the dark place, when she's in her dark place, and like she hears all the things that she already doesn't like about herself being repeated to her from the voices of the people who are supposed to be the world's best generations, and they're telling her how terrible she is, and they're telling her,
yo, Mother Teresa is telling you your POS.
Yo.
What?
Like,
how do you come back from that?
Like legit, like can you think about how damaging that is to what is essentially a child? Because that's what she is. 22 is a kid.
Yeah, it's
barely
it's comical.
A kid.
It's comical because it's
God.
like we know these figures, and it comes back to the whole fact that, I have to admit, I don't want to say it's definitely not for kids, but we understand a lot more of the references than a kid would right away.
I think what me and many other people are saying is like the deep meaning in the message will be, obviously not for kids, because they won't be able to sit back and analyze like we are. We'll get the deeper meaning. So we live life for however many years. We've experienced all our downfall. Well, a portion of our downfalls. We've gotten back up. We found our purpose, or what we thought our purpose was. We switch lanes. We go here, twist and turn everywhere to make sure we're living the life that we think we want to live, or the life that we actually want to live, and find some sort of contentment and some sort of
best life,
happiness, and some sense of validity in all of that we're trying to do, and the roller coaster of emotion that life is in general. So for a kid, for example, like me, I was watching it with my girl, my son, and he's asking me questions about certain things in the movie. So I'm just like, I mean, I can explain it to you, but I know you're 5 years old. You're not gonna understand the concept behind any of this stuff. Your brain is just not that developed yet. So, there'll be a point in time where I can sit down with you, maybe watch this again, or there'll be another movie that comes out again that will touch on those same themes, and then I can talk about it to a deeper extent and give you more context so you can understand it and maybe appreciate the message even more. But It's like with a 5-year-old, I can't really tell him like, oh, well, this is what happened. We believe in the afterlife. Or, I mean,
and this is coming.
It's a little difficult.
This is coming from somebody who doesn't have kids, but I would just think that the kid would address this within themselves at some point when they do feel it. So I feel like this movie is almost like a preemptive strike to say, like, you're going to feel this way as an adult, as a human being, and it's okay. It normalizes those things, and it makes it okay for you to feel overwhelmed and feel doubtful of yourself. But then it reminds you that it's not that deep. Just take a deep breath and just live your life. Like, I think even though there's some deeper themes, as a child, I don't think they're gonna really look at it that way. I'm just assuming, but like, I would just think that they're gonna like be like, oh wow, I'm feeling this. I remember seeing this in Soul, and the character did this to overcome it. You know?
Yeah, I think the build off of that, it's what Pixar might be trying to do. I can't say because obviously I'm not in the rooms with them.
You weren't in the room when it happened. The room when it happened. The room when it happened.
All right, guys. All right, we were talking about that in the Patreon stuff, right? So
for $25 a tier.
You're not letting that one go, bro.
But that's what it comes down to, right? It's it's. The air horse fucked me up right now. Pixar is planning. I think Pixar also has the understanding that they are hoping that the kids remember that they don't need to take it to the moment that we do. We don't need to internalize it. We don't need to feel the same way as we do right now, because at that point things should be better. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole point of the future. They're the future. They're supposed to be able to understand that what we did wrong, they can do right. They can do better, or they can approach it better so that it's not as detrimental as a whole, as, you know, Miguel wanted to say as well. And it's like, all we can do is progress. And I think Pixar is also hoping that this message is perceived in a way and also is held on to this child into adulthood, because I can tell you right now, honestly, if you name every single Pixar movie from the very first one that they made till now, I will have something to say about each one and how it impacted me growing up. And I think that's their goal. Their goal is to make someone better little by little, not
subconsciously.
You know, Up was freaking fucking beautiful, man. It got me ready for fucking.
Some people would say that wasn't for kids, but a lot of kids loved it. You know.
All I know, I was childish enough to want to watch it. Okay, I was childish enough.
Whenever it comes to Pixar, I'm childish.
I was beyond
Dude,
childish,
hard.
and I cried most of the movies. So.
But that's the whole point. It's like what Pixar is catering to both factors so easily. It's so easy.
I completely agree. What they're doing is they're like most things that are animated. They throw a lot of adult themes or adult humor. Secretly, they slide it in there.
Not even
right?
secret. No, dude, they're not even trying, man. They're just like, I'm doing this shit right now. You take it.
Okay. No. Did you see that drawing in Monsters Inc.?
The one that they end up showing Buzz Lightyear and all of them, or the one prior?
No, the drawing where it's the girl's mom, the kid's mommy, and their uncle, and then the mommy is. The uncle is behind the mom.
The deeper shit. Yeah. So that's the scary part. Yeah. The stuff. Just as bad as when Sid, for all the bullshit that he was doing as a kid in Toy Story, he becomes just a garbage man.
Word.
In Toy Story 3.
But when you think about this too, what this is doing to kids and younger audiences subconsciously, it's like they're not going to judge the guy that's spinning a sign on the corner, because now they're going to see them as somebody that probably has a lot more power in themselves than you think they do. You know, they're normalizing.
He's in the
things.
zone.
Yeah.
Love that.
He's in the zone. He's
Love
saving lost souls. Look at that guy.
Love
Go
that.
ahead, sign
Go
guy.
ahead, sign guy.
Graham
Yo,
Norton, bro.
shout out to the sign people
Go
out in
ahead.
the world doing the most.
Word.
You are
Yo,
underappreciated, and we
um,
appreciate you at the Nerdy Base.
Especially now
does
with
anybody-
tax season coming up, they're gonna be out there about
Yeah.
a dozen.
Yo,
You know the worst part?
Does anybody-
Like,
I think.
Statue of Liberty costumes and shit.
Oh my God.
Does anybody still go to downtown Patterson?
No, in a while.
I moved out of Patterson. I don't go
Okay.
back.
Okay.
How sad is
they-
that? We're like, nah, bro, no.
I don't go
Let's
to
not bring that up.
Patterson.
Because
right now.
there used to be a guy on Main and Broadway, right downtown, and he would have his headphones on.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure the dude was like special needs, like he like his mom would take him to work. He'd put his headphones on and he'd kind of like bebop a little bit and like hold a sign. And like he'd come in and he'd collect his $25-$30 cash for the day.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that. And now I'm wondering if my man was in the zone.
He probably was.
Probably
He had his
was. That
headphones.
was
Like
one
he had his
child.
headphones
he's
on.
just like
No
legitimately speaking, like he's just out there saving lives.
Word.
I'm not even kidding. You laugh. I'm that serious.
laughing.
I think the zone is a real thing.
No, the zone is a real thing. The zone
It
is a
sure
real
is.
thing. I'm not trying to add anything to anything else.
One problem that I had with the movie, and I can't believe I just remembered. And I'm gonna talk directly to the Pixar guys for this right now. How you gonna play my Knicks like that, bruh? How you gonna do that to me?
Bro.
Do you know how bad it was? Do you know how bad it was
Yo.
watching that movie the first time and I'm sitting there and I'm like, and they're like, yeah, you know, when people are in the zone and sometimes we mess with them. And I was like, all right, cool. And then you see Patrick Ewing going up for the dunk that he missed at the 1992 NBA Finals, and I'm just like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? You gonna throw that in as a joke? Are you freak?
It hurts. Dude, they still
Hurts my
talk
soul.
about Jersey as the joke state, okay? They still talk about
Still.
Jersey as a
this
fucking
day.
joke state. Till this day. It has
they
yet
did
to have
did
been
that.
taken away. I don't know why. There's so many more funnier things about other states. There's fucking 48
because
more.
New Jersey, it's because New Jersey is the armpit of America.
Of just New York. Of
No,
just New York.
You know, people like to hate on the greatest. On the greatest.